Oops. Oop. From 1 to 100. This is a podcast where we talk about building your YouTube community from 1, that's you, to 100 so that you can make a living doing what you love. On this show, we talk about how to build a business as a YouTube creator in the passion/enthusiasm economy. I'm your host, Heather Mares, and this is episode 17 of From 1 to 100. Hello, everybody. So I'm just going to count that probably not that many people are going to tune in live to this episode because it's spontaneous. I'm doing 2 live streams today. So yes, the YouTube Huddle Up is still on in about an hour and 15 minutes. But, I've been mulling over kind of this new revelation that I discovered on the couple, like literally live on the couples table yesterday. And instead of just trying to work it out here by myself, I was like, you know what? I think it would be helpful to kind of talk my thoughts out loud. I think that's just how it's better for me to do that for myself. But then also, if any of you catching the replay, tuning in, listening via the audio podcast have any thoughts, I would love to hear them because I'm very excited about this new revelation. I really think that I'm just excited about it. That's what this is what this stream is going to be about. So I guess I want to preface this by saying, if you're here for the YouTube Huddle Up, you're a little early, and don't worry, we're still gonna go. I have an alarm here, so so that's that. But then also, I think what I'm gonna do is focus more on like all the threads that I'm thinking of in my brain right now and kind of follow the threads, see if I can come to any conclusions by the end of this episode, and then tune into the comments, if that makes sense. Because I'm just, I'm still trying to figure out what it all means. This is how like my ADHD brain works. So I appreciate you though, Sammy Superstar, for being in the notification squad. That's awesome. And then Joshua's here, and Coffee Talking Tech, and Tom Buck. Okay, cool. So let me work this out. As you know, this show is about the passion economy. I discovered the passion economy probably late 2020. And the reason why I think it matters, you've probably heard me say this before, but the reason why I think it matters is because I think it's a an iteration on the creator economy, which if you're watching this, you're probably a part of. You're probably a YouTube creator, right? But some kind of content creator creating content about something that excites you. And I think if you're listening to this podcast, you probably have hopes of it turning into something a little bigger, whether that's a full-time job, a side hustle, or, something that brings meaning into your life. And I've been a content creator since April of 2016, and now I'm a YouTube coach. So I approach this whole thing from two sides of the spectrum, where I love YouTube. I love creating content. I love what these digital media tools allow us to do, and how they enable us to connect, communicate, and collaborate, and all of those things. But then also I'm passionate about helping people discover how they can use these tools to share their stories, build businesses, make a positive impact on people that they would otherwise not cross paths with, stuff like that. So I'm passionate about this. If you can't tell, I think it matters. I think that, I think that as a culture, we're growing out of, YouTube and content creation is just for the young ones. I've seen this with all the people that I've been able to have the pleasure of interacting with. I work with people from all ages, backgrounds, races, YouTube niches, all parts of the world. And I think that's exciting. I think I want more stories to be shared. I think it makes the world a better place. And if I could play a part in that, I want to. And so that's why, because of this, sense of responsibility that I have to this, I'm always evaluating the bigger picture. How does what I do fit into a bigger picture? Because of course, on the YouTube Huddle Up, you can check this out in an hour. I will go back to let's award stickers, let's do a giveaway, let's reward progress and encourage people and keep people accountable on their journeys on YouTube. But there's also the other part of me that's like, okay, what is this all for? Like, let's zoom out and make sure that, there's some kind of direction that we're heading in, because I'm, kind of a leader. People are literally looking to me to kind of guide them. So I want to make sure we're going in the right direction, right? So anyway, that's my rambling intro. And here's a disclaimer. This is all going to be rambling, so bear with me. So creator economy, let's give some background on there. Creator economy is you create content, you amass as many subscribers and views as possible, and you monetize off of attention and content. So the more attention that you can get by the way of watch time, right? And ways that you can increase your watch time are creating more content or getting more subscribers to watch your content or viewers, right? And you sell that attention to companies, whether it's YouTube by allowing YouTube ads on your videos, whether that's to companies by allowing them to sponsor you and, partner with you to create content, or through affiliates. So I'm going to sign up for Amazon affiliate and tell you about this water bottle, and then Amazon's going to give me a referral fee for anyone who buys that water bottle because of me. So creator economy is evolving, but that's kind of the common way to monetize in that space. And then I discovered the passion economy, which I was very excited about, because to me it increases the barrier to entry. Maybe that's a bad way of putting it. It increases the opportunity of allowing content creators where there is no barrier to entry. Literally anybody, 5-year-olds can be content creators. There's no barrier to entry to become a content creator, but there is a barrier to entry in terms of like, let's do YouTube for real. Let's grow an audience. Let's turn this into a business. Let's make money. And I think that the passion economy opens that up to more people so that you don't have to just look like an influencer or have the equipment and the skill set of a videographer, or, be the best at something or the most unique at something, where the content that you're creating is just novel by its nature, right? So I don't know, you're like you have a hydraulic press that costs thousands of dollars. You're literally going to be one of a few people in the world who are going to have access to hydraulic press. You could just make a bunch of videos where you're just pressing different things. That's creator economy versus passion economy. And for passion economy, the way that it opens up a different way to monetize is that it takes away the dependence on the platforms, because your money is coming not mostly from companies. This is so poorly worded, but it's coming directly from your audience, right? So instead of getting your companies or your income from YouTube or Amazon, you're getting your income directly from your people, right? So by that nature, you don't need a huge audience. And that's why the show is called From 1 to 100, because, I would say for the creator economy, you needed, millions, hundreds, but then the culture has evolved where you really only need 1,000 people to give you $100 over a year and you're set, right? And if you divide that out, that's a $10 t-shirt, $5 super chat every now and then. You can offer very low ticket things, $15 membership on Patreon or something like that. And over 1,000 people doing that over a period of a year, you can make a living doing what you love. But the passion economy is, you can dial that down even less to 100 people, but offer something transformational, because it's not just about supporting. I'm not just going to donate $5 because I support you as a creator. I'm going to pay you $100 a month because you are offering something that actually makes a difference in my life, whether that's helping me get in shape, be more positive or have a more positive outlook in life, or master a skill, or, build a business, or lose weight, or, your product helps me with the transformation that I'm trying to achieve, right? And because of that, people are willing to pay a premium price for that product or that service. And the way that I've seen this execute is through either group coaching, online courses, communities. It's very prominent in like knowledge, informational, helpful tutorial type niches, because it's just, just by nature, people are at A and they want to get to B, and your thing helps them get there. So, it was kind of, I don't know, like a natural thing to happen as a result. So that to me made it more accessible, because instead of having to almost feel, creator burnout, and, we talk about creator mental health all the time, because if most people come into YouTube as a hobby, right? They want to have fun. They want to make videos. They want to do this cool thing. They want to share what they're excited about. I think that's how most people get into YouTube. And then what happens is that YouTube, one of your videos will pop off, and YouTube will tell you to make more videos like this, but sometimes that's not in line with what you really want to do. And before you know it, YouTube ends up becoming your boss, telling you what to do, telling you what to create content about. And I feel like that's where creator burnout happens, because it's like all of a sudden when you had pure creative freedom, like that's gone, right? Because this isn't really going to do well with my audience, or my audience is, they know me for this, so I can't really do that. And, you upload a video that might be kind of off, and then YouTube gives you all the gray arrows and you feel like you did something wrong and stuff like that. But in the passion economy, it's like, well, if you have full ownership of your audience, because you're taking them from YouTube to Mighty Networks or Podia or Teachable or Kajabi or something like this, and you're building an email list, you have direct access to your customers. Who cares what happens to YouTube? Because you can interact with your people through email. You don't need them to have your business be a thing, and you're still making a living doing what you love, regardless of what YouTube says. And so, but the reason why this show even exists is because I think that YouTube is the best platform for discoverability and community building. So I think it's really rare for you or for content creators to try to do this without YouTube. I could be wrong, and that's like one of the things that I want to continue exploring. Like, I would love to see a TikTok creator apply this passion economy business model. I don't know. Anyway, so that's a creator economy, passion economy. So here's what I discovered yesterday is the word enthusiasm. And I think it really does change everything, because it's the piece that I feel like I was missing as I've been pitching the idea of the passion economy, for months now. And I've been seeing what's resonating. I've been getting the feedback, and I've been seeing like what's hitting, what's not, what's landing, what's not. And I think it really comes down to the word passion, right? Because passion kind of conveys this innate talent of like, you're so skilled at this thing. Like you're a master at piano playing or something, and you've already put in years of experience or something. And now you can sell an online course about how to teach people how to play piano or something like that. Enthusiasm, though, that's interesting, because you can be super enthusiastic about something at level 0, right? Like I was just telling someone in the Just Create More network yesterday or this morning that I wanted to start a bourbon channel because I recently discovered bourbon. Like I knew it was a thing. I had a really good old fashioned when Tom and I were in Vegas for our 1-year anniversary, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I want to try different kinds of bourbons. I want to just explore and like scratch this itch and like look into, I'm curious about it, and I want to share my curiosity with people." And I was like, I'm going to make another YouTube channel, which I don't have the time to do, so I'm not going to do that. But I know nothing about bourbon. Zero. I don't know anything about it. I couldn't even tell you like how it's made or, what the most popular brands are. Completely new. But that doesn't take away from my enthusiasm, right? So even if you were to start a YouTube channel or create content about your enthusiasm for something, you can literally start at level 1 and still build a community around people who are excited about that thing, who are also enthusiastic about that thing. I like that, because I guess one flaw with the passion economy business model is that I think it only works if you, like the people that I've seen success with it are people who are already working in that thing. So like, let's do two people I've interviewed on from 1 to 100. There's Dominic Henderson, financial advisor. And his YouTube channel is empowering the next generation of financial advisors. And there's Marie Poulin, who has a online course group coaching thing for Notion, right? They were already doing this. Like they already had a career in something that was very related to this. And it just so happened that when they were making YouTube videos, the way that they can start a business just kind of happened, but it wasn't something that they planned. But you couldn't do that at like level 1. I can't just be like, hey, I like Notion and now I'm going to sell a course about Notion. Like you can't do that, right? So that was something that I was always looking at, because there are people in this audience that are not educational, informational, tutorial based channels. And I was like, this sucks, because everything I'm saying doesn't really apply to them. But clearly there's something here. Like they fit, but they don't fit. I'm making parameters where they don't fit. And so I like enthusiasm because I feel like it can encompass everybody. It can encompass novices, amateurs, experts, masters. It doesn't matter, because you can't like grade enthusiasm. Someone at level 1 can have the same enthusiasm for someone at level 100. And that's awesome. So let me talk about some of these things that I've been mulling over since yesterday. With the enthusiasm economy, I think that community is a crucial component, right? So in the passion economy, I always emphasize that it had to be two-way, right? Like the creator economy, their audience is a faceless fandom because there's so many of them. Like I couldn't name 1,000 people off the top of my head. That's a lot of people to know. Whereas 100 people, that's totally doable, right? Like I can name off 100 people and my people know me. I know my people, they know me. There's like two-way interaction, and it's not that I'm just talking to anybody. I'm talking to very specific people, right? But the enthusiasm economy is, because you're enthusiastic about that thing, it's only natural that you'd want to connect with other people who are also enthusiastic about that thing, right? And people have done this since the beginning of time. Car enthusiasts pre-YouTube would, plan meetups, plan events where you can bring your antique car or your super fancy car, and everyone just sits there and looks at each other's cars, right? Like, this is already something that's already being done. And I think that's part of the joy of being enthusiastic is about something, is that you get to connect with other people who share that same joy, whether it's Pokemon cards or cars or YouTube or video games or, podcasts or, I don't know, cooking or whatever, right? So I think community is a huge part of how someone who takes the enthusiasm economy model can monetize. Is like, if you're excited about this too, then join my community and let's be excited about it together, right? In the passion economy, if you have 100 people, that's already a community. But I always got confused because at some point you don't know every person, right? Like Dominique even said, I don't know. It's getting to the point where I don't know every person. And I think that's, with all of these models, what's true for all of them is intimacy at scale, because we use the internet, right? Like we use these tools. So eventually, if you're really good at what you do or really excited about what you do, you eventually, get to a point where it just grows. But I do think that, like, for example, there are mighty networks that have several thousand people in it, and it's still just as vibrant, just as connected, just as engaged as it was when there were 30. So it's not necessarily size, but there has to be some kind of community where you're bringing people together that share that enthusiasm for that thing. All right. The enthusiasm economy, to me, what does this say? I can't read my writing. It ends up being a hybrid of both the creator and the passion economy, is what I wrote. What do I mean by that? So I think one of the things I was struggling with was, I think it was starting to come off like, oh, people who do the creator economy business model are like, I don't know. I feel like I was pitting against like creator versus passion economy. I feel like I was pitting them against each other, which that's not what it is, right? I just want to show people that here's one way to do it. Here's another way to do it. Here's another way to do it. You pick what is the way that you want to do on your journey, right? But I think because I was so like, here's what these other YouTube coaches are saying, here's what these influencers are saying, here's what these huge YouTube creators are saying or doing, but that's not what we do. Like, I felt like it was starting to be like, oh, you have to pick this or that. And I don't like that. That I don't think that's how it is. That's not how I meant for it to come off. But I think with the enthusiasm economy, you cannot build a community without an audience. So you have to take some aspect of the creator economy while you're creating content. Like you have to, you are a YouTube creator at the end of the day, right? Like you still have to create content. It still has to be content that, you still have to be a good content creator, right? In order for people to discover that your community and your enthusiasm even exists in the first place. So you have to do that. But it's a hybrid, because instead of just supporting the creator, you're sharing in the enthusiasm. So it's not just about the creator, right? It's not just like, I want to support this channel because I like you. No, it's because I also like cars, and you're helping me explore my own enthusiasm and curiosity about cars, and I want to be a part of that. So it ends up being a hybrid of both. And I like that, because now it's not me versus you or us versus them or anything. I need to flesh that one out a little bit more. Mastery is not necessary. I already talked about that. Here's another thing that I really like about the enthusiasm economy is that the focus is not on content creation. Oh my goodness, right? So going back to, let's see. Dan Seabearded was another guest that I had. And even Mike Mena, I'll say him, Mike Mena. I would probably say out of the guests that I've had, Mike has the best video, like objectively just has the best video production. But he also has a passion for photography. So I feel like he would have done that anyway. Literally I was on a stream yesterday where Dan was talking about how he wants to upgrade his equipment. Like, he's the first person to admit that, like, oh, my quality isn't that good. He wants to level things up. But that's the exciting thing about the enthusiasm economy, because low video quality doesn't negate the enthusiasm. So even if you are using no microphone, you're using your phone, you're using cheap equipment, whatever it is, that doesn't mean that you still can't share your enthusiasm. And we've seen this over and over, but there's so many people, I've seen this so many times. How many people want to start YouTube channels, but immediately they're shy or scared, or, they feel like they're not good enough because they don't have, their video doesn't look the same way that other people's YouTube videos look like. But if it's not about the content and it's about the enthusiasm, then you can be super enthusiastic. You could be the most enthusiastic person about that thing with the lowest video quality, and it doesn't take away from the point. I like that. I like how it's not in the creator economy. It's literally in the name. It's the content, right? Like, content creator. The thing that's the focus is the content. So it's got to be good, especially if you're going to go after hundreds of thousands, if not millions. It just has to be good, right? But if I want to lower the bar and let more people have access to this way of being able to make a living doing what you love, guess what? You can do this at level 1. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be a master. You don't have to have any experience, really. Like, you could literally start at level 1, and you don't even have to have the best video skills. That's awesome. I feel like that's 2 of the biggest fears or the biggest things holding people back from getting into YouTube. Those 2 things. And I like this because it just takes that away. It's like, guess what? It's not about that. It is about your enthusiasm. That's very exciting to me. Content is the vehicle by which to share your enthusiasm. And of course if you can make it better, make it better. But like, literally the best calligrapher in the world, whether they're filming on a Canon S110 or a Sony, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Their calligraphy is still amazing. So it doesn't matter, like, you know what I mean? I can hammer this one home. All right. And because of this, YouTube is not the end goal, but a means to an end. So that's still like part of the passion economy thing that I was talking about. We're not trying to be the biggest YouTubers. That is one parameter to measuring success in terms of, like, are we making a living doing what we love? Are we sharing our enthusiasm with the world? But you can start doing this, from 1 to 100, right? Okay. Let's see. So here's something to keep in mind with the enthusiasm economy, or caveats, I guess, things to note. You cannot predict what the business is going to be before the community performs. Okay, so here's where I came up with this thought. On Wednesday, I was a guest on the Created Economy show with Greg Noreen and Ken Young. And they are founders, and Greg is a founder and Ken is a journalist in the tech space. So they've been in the, like, creator, they've been evaluating the creator economy for years. So it's very fun to talk to them. One of the things that Greg kept saying, actually, Greg is going to be my next guest on From 1 to 100 on Tuesday. So I'll have to bring this up with him. But one of the things that he kept saying was entrepreneur. I have a love-hate relationship with the word entrepreneur. So literally when I started my YouTube journey, I said that Heather Just Create is my way of documenting my entrepreneurial journey. And my tagline, like under my name, was vlogger, creator, entrepreneur. Those are like the three. I put it on my business cards. I put it in my channel banner. Like I put it in my Instagram bio. Those are the three words that I like just owned. Here's the thing with the word entrepreneur. And I get Greg's point. So Greg was saying that there's influencers and then there's content entrepreneurs, right? So, which to me was kind of like is like the word for people who do the passion economy, right? So if you are approaching content creation as a business at the forefront instead of as an afterthought, so here's what usually happens. You create content, you become, you start growing this massive audience, and before you know it, it's like, oh, companies are approaching me. I just got approved for the YouTube Partner Program. All of a sudden, the monetization opportunities kind of show themselves because you have an audience, right? Like companies want to sell to that audience, which makes sense. So you didn't have a business plan. You probably didn't even have any intention for it to become a business. But now that it is, why not, right? The passion economy, it's like you might not necessarily know what the transformational product or service is that you're going to sell, but it's probably going to be related to the thing that you're already creating content about. Right? So like Marie Poulin and Notion Mastery. Like she may not have known that at the beginning, but it was very clear that that's what the product was going to be. She still has to create the product and what that looks like and all of that. But I think you know what I mean, right? With the enthusiasm economy, I think it's kind of both. So I think that if you're going into content creation as an entrepreneur, like at the forefront, like Tom wouldn't be doing what he's doing if that was going to be the approach. And he hated the word entrepreneur. He didn't like that word because of whatever is associated with it. Maybe he can tell you more about it. But, I remember when I was trying to come up with my target audience as a YouTube coach, all the people that were my success stories would not describe themselves as entrepreneurs. That's what they are, right? Like that's what Tom is, but that's not how they identify themselves, because they don't go into it like, this is a business that I want to start, because it's not about the business. It's about the enthusiasm. Like if you go into YouTube very organically, it's all organic. That's the key word here, I think, with enthusiasm economy is it has to be organic, right? So we can take this from an advertising standpoint, organic versus paid. Organic, free traffic, or paid, you're going to put ads on like Facebook or Instagram or whatever. It's a very intentional, like I'm trying to target these people because I want to sell them something, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think my thesis with this enthusiasm economy is like, you don't even know to do that. And I would argue that organic leads are probably the best because they find you naturally. They find you because they go down the rabbit hole. They have the same enthusiasm as you, and then they discover you. Just, it's all very natural. And so, I think Greg's point was we want content creators to start thinking like an entrepreneur, to take it seriously, to get resources, to think of it as a business so that you have more control. But I'm arguing that I don't think that you can do that, especially someone who doesn't have, like super high quality videos and is starting at level 1. Like starting a business is not even on the landscape. You're not even thinking about that. You're just like, I like bourbon. That's all. That's it, right? And I think that that's how it has to start. But when does this matter? I think that once you get from level 1 in terms of YouTube journey, right? Once you go from level 1 to level 20, talk to me. Then I'll help you, right? Like find resources, find people to help you figure out how you can monetize your hybrid creator economy, passion economy, audience, and community. All right. I don't even know if I'm making sense right now. Yeah, you're not entrepreneurs at first. You don't need experience. And the journey is part of it. So, I mean, that kind of goes back to you can be super enthusiastic at level 1 and going off of that, just expand on that. If you are at level 1, that's a very special part of the journey that people like being a part of, because everyone knows what it's like to be at level 1 of something, whatever it is that you're sharing. And so I think that not being at level 50 or 100 is something that holds a lot of people back. But like if you know that if you want to own through this business model, level 1's actually a strength, like that's awesome, right? Like you're just going to feel so much more empowered to just go to do this, right? And that's what I want to do. It all comes down to empowerment. Okay, you don't need experience. Journey is part of it. Oh yeah, and then there's no competition. So I think in the creator economy, if I just think that it's so competitive, and that's what I feel like is a very big contributing factor to creator burnout, is that if you're building such a large audience and you want to be the person who's known for that one thing because it's you, right? Like it's your brand. You're the person who's known. He's that person, she's that person who does this, right? But here it's like it is attributed to you, obviously, because you are the face, you are the content creator. But there's so many people even here who are like, oh, the Just Create More community by Heather and Tom, right? But it's about the community. It's about like the mission. It's about the journey. It's about the thing that we're doing together. That's super exciting to me. I forgot what I was saying. No more competition. Oh yeah, because it's about fit. So there's no more competition. Like it's not like about dominating a space. Like I have to be the only one in this space known for this thing. Because like even if the communities look the same, there are going to be differences because it's so specific, right? Like cars. We could do electric cars. We could do super fancy cars. We could do antique cars. And then there could be literally communities that exist for every single one of these super niche subsets that you are super obsessed with. Does that make sense? All right, cool. Maybe. I said that you can't build a community without an audience, so you have to leverage some kind of platform. I still think that YouTube is the best. Right. And the enthusiasm economy mitigates creator burnout because you define your parameters for success, right? So like I say this all the time. I never check my YouTube numbers. I never do. Although I did notice I did hit 11,000 subscribers on my vlog channel. But honestly, I said this on the Couples Table yesterday. If there were a way to purge, like automatically unsubscribe people from my channel who haven't watched a Heather video in the past 365 days, I would 100% without hesitation push that button. I don't even care if it cut my subscribers in half, because I want a more accurate number of people who are actually like there, like in it. But yes, so I think one of the really cool things, the reason why I'm so excited about creator, passion, enthusiasm economy, blah, 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 this whole thing, is because I think that we live in a time where you could be your own boss. Like you could literally design your job. And I think about my job, which was actually pretty cool and amazing, but there were still so many parts of it that I hated. And like, I felt like so many times I had to bottle up my creativity. I had to like reel things back because the organization as a whole didn't want to make that change, or it wasn't in line with the goals of, the fiscal goals of the year, or blah, the board of directors are doing something else. Being your own boss, like, is so awesome because you can literally come up with an idea at 6 a.m. and bam, I'm live streaming a few hours later. Like, you are in charge, right? And I think that with all the tools that exist today, it's literally never been easier to be a business owner, to make a living doing what you love. And not only that, but you can make a living doing what you love with the thing that you're obsessed with. That's insane. Like, that's crazy. Because even with the gig economy, which I felt like allowed more people to be entrepreneurs, like doing Uber, right? You work on your own terms, you're your own boss, like you don't have to report at a certain time. It's very flexible, that's awesome. And I think it allowed a lot of people to work, to kind of work for themselves, but like, you still are working for the platform. And I think that's a problem with the creator economy, is that eventually we end up working for YouTube without even realizing it, and I remember to this day the struggle of me unlisting my most popular videos on my vlog channel. That hurts, right? Because I was so proud of crossing 1 million views on my vlog channel. It was like, a point of pride. I made 600 videos at this point, and I wanted to be able to say, hey, I crossed that 1 million mark. And then, man, I probably knocked off 400,000 views by unlisting my most popular videos because they were bringing in the wrong people. It's not what I wanted to be known for. I 100% made it because YouTube told me to. They were saying like, hey, if this is where people are coming in. If you make more videos like this, it'll increase the viewership on your channel. This is another reason why I want to purge subscribers, because I think a lot of the people who are subscribed came in when my channel was about something else, or when I was making different kinds of content. I completely forgot my train of thought. Sorry, ADHD is super strong today. Let me see. Communities are monetizing YouTube only. Well, I forgot what I was saying. So I'm going to check in here and see what you guys think, because I see the chats and I'm curious to see what you think. Okay, so here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Where's my chats? Here it is. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Hello. Does it contain the word enthusiasm? Love the full circle moment yesterday. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, that was crazy. The Tommy Bernhard podcast. You are a pro when Tom Buck shows up in your chat and you don't have to go change your chores. Let's see. Just my 2 cents. Heather didn't sleep. She was so excited, is my guess. This is very true. Let's see. Let's see. Give so many more people the ability to think outside the box. Yep. Driven off the excitement of learning more and sharing is what I love. Yep. Enthusiologist. I love that. Finally, a category for me. Yes, Todd. So you're a perfect example. Because you're not necessarily teaching something, right? Which is what I feel like that's the passion economy. I mean, you can really get creative and try to offer a transformational product or service that is entertainment based, but it's not as obvious as someone who is coming from an educational, like Tom. A lot of his content is about podcasts, so he has an online course about podcasts. Like, it's very, like, of course you're going to have a course about podcasts. But enthusiasm for Christmas, that's awesome. That's exactly, like, you are totally someone I'm thinking about. Let's see. Some of us with 100 need to be around those with the ones with their enthusiasm. We need that boost. Yes, exactly. That's perfect. See, so another thing with the enthusiasm economy is the network effect, right? where the community gets stronger with every person that joins and contributes, right? So it's not creator economy because you're not just following, you're not just watching somebody, but you're actually joining, you're participating. You are helping the creator get to somewhere further, and they are also helping you explore something. It's that two-way interaction. Let's see. I think you're showing that smaller YouTubers can create an income and can see a light at the end of the tunnel. You don't have to have 100K subs to make a living. Yeah, you don't need anywhere near that, man. I mean, you can use me as an example. I wouldn't put a number. I mean, literally it's called from 1 to 100, but with the caveat of these are 100 community members. So not every subscriber is a community member on YouTube. But like, if you want to use me as an example, I have 11,000 subscribers on one channel and then 3,000 something on this one. Let's see. Coffee Talk Attack. It really does show a light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes get intimidated by bigger channels and think income is a long way off. So this is why I am obsessed with trying to discover this model, is because not only are there people still trying to crack a code, but there are people who are going to start tomorrow and be in that same boat. And next year, like, this is here to stay. And if you don't have the best video skills and you're not a master at something, you could still turn this into something very substantial and meaningful in your life. And I think that's very powerful. And I want to tell that to more people. For me, my enthusiasm is filmmaking, so I feel like I overlap here. Yes. And Melanie, like, man, you have such a different, it's like filmmaking, but like so personal. Like, there's so much motivation and inspiration there. So you definitely are differentiating from like just a filmmaking channel, which is awesome. Let's see. I grew my platform with awful quality. No false humility. Please go watch my earlier videos. The info is golden, but not easy to listen to or look at. I have enjoyed the natural growth. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not easy to listen to or look at. You're literally proof that that's not what matters. You're proof. So if anyone's going to tell me like, oh, I need to be in 4K, no. You don't. You built a 4,000 subscriber channel strong. Just working with what you got, and I love that. Like, I love how accessible it is. Let's see. People come for the person first and foremost. I actually disagree with that. I actually disagree with this. I think if you're using pure creator economy, yes, they come for the person, but like, people don't come for me. They come for YouTube tips, and then they come for me, right? Like, usually people discover my channel because I'm teaching them about something that can help them level up on YouTube, but they don't care about me. Same with Tom. No one cares about Tom until they watch a video about the Rodecaster, about a microphone, about, some kind of way to level up your one-person video and audio production. And then once you watch 1 or 2 videos, you subscribe, then you come for Tom. Then Tom can make a video about drums and you're in it, right? But I don't think it's person first and foremost, which is why it's about your enthusiasm for the shared thing, right? It's your enthusiasm around Christmas, or I don't know, making smoothies or video games, whatever it is. Let's see. I'm loving it so true. I want to start at level 2. That's so right. I'm trying to break out of my niche I started in. It's a rocky road and the diehard base is following, thankfully. Yeah, I've done this pivot so many times, so I feel you. Let's see. Heather, I discovered you a month ago. Hi, Sonal? Career strategist. Ooh, that's fun. Discovered you a month ago when I was looking for easy ways to make a YouTube intro. Love your work. There you go. Thank you, Sonal Ball, for literally being an example of what I was saying. I discovered you because I was looking for easy ways to make a YouTube intro. They come for the topic, they come for the niche, they come for the thing that you're talking about, and they stick around for you. And with the enthusiasm economy, I would say that they stick around for the community. Come for the content, stay for the community. The journey is the destination. Let's see. I know how to create amazing content, but I want to make more money creating content. I already made like $600. That's pretty good from countdown timers, overlays, and buy me coffee. Awesome. Congrats, Sammy. That's how much money that Tom made during his first year on YouTube as well. $600. Like literally, that's the exact amount. So let's see. Learning to take a breath and enjoy the journey is something that isn't easy for me. I feel things so much deeper when I do take it in. So here's what I really like about the enthusiasm economy, just to hammer this part home, is that if you creator economy versus enthusiasm economy. Creator economy, it is about the content, right? Because it's in the name. It's YouTube. It's content. It's you have to create the content. Enthusiasm economy, it's not primarily about YouTube or the content. It is primarily about your enthusiasm for the thing, right? So I have found that people who have seen success, right? Or at least the people that I'm like looking to validate this. So like here's Tom, for example, right? Tom has definitely, I've been witness to his entire YouTube journey, which is such a privileged position to be a part of or to be in. But I will tell you, his enthusiasm for audio and video has been there since he was born. Like, it's always been there. And I think he was able to cultivate it and explore it and grow it and share that enthusiasm. But, literally his YouTube channel used to be called The Enthusiasm Project, which is another reason why I'm excited about the word enthusiasm. But where you are on your YouTube journey does not take away from where you are with your enthusiasm level. And that's why I love this, because you can embrace the fact that you are a YouTube creator with low numbers. Like it's not even about that. Who cares? It's like, it's not about that. Of course, we need to build an audience. We need discoverability in order for people to discover the thing, right? But that's not to say that you can't already do that at day one. I'm sure there's a better way to word this, but okay. Let's see. I think Tom is a good example of the hybrid model. His channel grows fast as he is in the content business. Also has his Fight Club members who will stick no matter what because it's enthusiasm. Exactly. So Tom is another person that I've been thinking about as I'm trying to like explore this new model or this different model. Because because I didn't even think that there was a hybrid until we fleshed out this more. And the reason why I think it's important to talk about this is because what you'll find is that people who are talking about the creator economy they're looking at the biggest creators on the platform. And I feel like, I will never get there. So I feel like there needs to be a voice or an advocate for people who already want to embrace the impact that they're making, even though they haven't crossed a certain subscriber threshold. And even if they're not making money the way that they would typically do in the creator economy. If that makes sense. Let's see. The dream of being my own boss is amazing. I definitely see content as a way to get there. I feel like people come for the content first and then they grow to like a person. No one cares about. Babe, I love you, babe. Let's see. I disagree. It was because Tom was Tom. I came back to watch more. Not the mics, not the roadcaster, not for me. Then I got to find you and all of this. Yeah. So I feel like the way you come back for Tom, but you discover from the topic, right? Because how would you know to search for Tom? Like how would you you don't even know Tom exists, right? You just know the search engine, you just know the YouTube search bar, or you just know another creator whose content ends up, Tom's content ends up getting recommended because of YouTube and all that. But it's like you stay once you get to know the creator and the community. Thanks for the shout out. You're awesome. Career strategist. I can't wait to check out your channel. I have 25 minutes until the YouTube huddle up. Let's see. Sorry, wrong channel. Kidding. Insert. I'm only on his channel for the puns. Yeah, same here. All right. So does that make sense? Enthusiasm economy. Here's what I wanted to show you. So here, let me just end with this to really hammer it home. Okay, so here we go. This is one of Legion. So Legion is one of the people that coined the passion economy. She's actually the person who gave me the idea for from 1 to 100, like calling it that, because she's the one who wrote this blog about 100 true fans. And she explains like, okay, it used to be 1,000 true fans. Now it's 100, paying them $1,000 a year, not 100. And here is some data here. Actually, boom. So here's some data. On Patreon, the average initial pledge amount was increased 22% over the past 2 years. Since 2017, the share of new patrons paying more than $100 per month or $1,200 per year has grown 21%. So this is like obviously a trend, which is why I was super excited about the passion economy. And she goes on to provide more data. And then, of course, this is the same disclaimer that I say. It's a hybrid, so it's not that you have to pick one or the other, one model over the other, but it's more of like audience segmentation. But I'm just taking it a step further. So here's what I really wanted to show you is this, right? So you could think of 1,000 true fans as the creator economy business model. More towards like what we think of when we think of influencer, and then 100 true fans, which is the passion economy business model. I don't think that there's a number for enthusiasm economy business model. It's been less than 24 hours since I discovered this, so I have to flush this out, but let's break this down. So with 1,000 true fans, you only need $100 a year, which is $8.33 a month, which is why you can offer, if you have 1,000 true fans, that probably means you have several thousand, subscribers and beyond. And then from there, you have your 1,000 true fans that are super supportive of the creator. They're going to give you super chats. They're going to be part of your Patreon. They're going to buy you, buy you a coffee. They're going to buy your merch, but it's very low ticket items, $8 a month, right? And the mentality is that it starts with the creation. So it's about the content. It is the content first. The thing that you offer is the content. If you want to support this creator, it's to support them in creating more content, right? So it's very much content creator economy. This is what I'm talking about when I say creator economy. What is the user or the viewer motivation for purchasing? It's motivated by altruism or fandom of wanting to support the creator. Why? So why are they paying the creator? It's to support them, again, to create more content. And here are example platforms. You can just add YouTube to this list, but yeah. So the offline comparison is making a donation to an artist or buying something to show support so that they can continue creating their art, which is content. And the passion economy, you only need 100 people to give you $1,000 a year, which is $83 a month. So that is a very different decimal point. That's a lot more money than $8, right? $83. That is a budget. That is a lot of money. But as you can see here, as Lee points out, it's not about the content. It's about the viewer, right? The creator is offering something to the viewer that addresses their needs or pain points. So they are motivated by self-interest. So I am going to pay Heather $100 a month to be part of her YouTube mastermind because I want support in order to get to my YouTube goals. Right? So it's about your journey. I'm going to buy Marie Poulin's Notion Mastery course because I want to use Notion to help me build systems that will help me achieve more in life or business, right? So it's about the viewer. So they're motivated by self-interest. What the user is paying for, a desire for improvement, transformation, and or exclusive access. So this is a very different motivation than this, right? This is like, oh, I just want to support the creator. I love this creator. I want them to keep going. So here's like $5. This is, no. I'm buying something from this creator because they're going to help me get to where I want to go. And that's why I'm willing to pay $83 a month or something more higher ticket, right? Offline comparison, paying for expertise to help improve one's own life, making a large donation to gain social status. So this is where you've got Mighty Networks, Podia, Kajabi, Teachable, stuff like that. Stuff that isn't necessarily the distribution platform. Although we see Twitch here because now these distribution platforms are also offering monetization opportunities that offer exclusive access, right? Now, pretend there's another column here, right here, that's the enthusiasm economy. And I'm going to try to flush this out really quick. So, I don't know what this is yet. This is to be discovered. The creator mentality. So this starts with the production creation. This starts with the user's needs and pain points. This starts with the enthusiasm. So it's not the creation, right? It's not like I want to be on YouTube because I want to be a YouTuber. It's I want to be on YouTube because I want to share my enthusiasm, and the best way to do that is by making YouTube videos. Very different from this, very different from this. Does that make sense? Now, the viewer motivation for purchasing. In the creator economy, they are motivated by wanting to support the creator. In the passion economy, they are motivated by self-interest. In this, I think it's a blend of both. So they are motivated because they are also enthusiastic about the thing that you're enthusiastic about. And they also want to support you because you are creating a community around that they can feel like a sense of belonging. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay, cool. What the user is paying for. So what would you be paying for? Here you want to support the creator. Here it's because you're getting a transformation. But here it's you are paying for the community to exist in the first place because it's a reciprocation of, yes, you're helping me explore my own enthusiasm, which can look like a variety of different ways. If it's a skill, then you're going to help me get better at that. If it's like, entertainment based, then you're going to help me, be more excited about this thing that I feel like no one else is talking about in my life. And I have a place to go to where people are talking about it all the time. Right. So I guess it's both. Like they're paying to support the creator for some kind of transformation, and then also a place where people can do that together. I don't know what the offline comparison is yet. I mean, I think it's just, let me think about that. But how does that sound? Let me check in with what you guys are saying. Oh, I'm getting really tired. And then I have YouTube huddle up after this. Okay, let's see. I connect with people. I'm big on people. Yes, I looked up the topics. Yes, true. Yep. Hey, Dr. Sev. Gotta run. I'm at work. Bye, John. Let's see. Key distinction. Cool. So GovKid Method is actually going to be another guest on From 1 to 100, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this, man. Like, I'm glad you're tuned in because I really want to ask you about this. So, okay. I think that's where I'm going to end it. But I'm excited. I really think that there's a model here that provides a path to more up and coming content creators, but then also provides a path to people who don't necessarily fit the content creator archetype, right? So I'm thinking career changers, people who, I think by nature they're just gonna be older. They probably aren't, they probably wouldn't necessarily describe themselves as tech savvy unless that's the thing that they're enthusiastic about. I think that's more of like an afterthought of like, oh yeah, I'm going to use YouTube to share my enthusiasm, so I should probably, have all the tools to make good YouTube videos. But it's the enthusiasm first. Yeah. Okay. I'm excited. So that's where I'm going to end it because I need a break before the YouTube huddle up. But I would love to hear your thoughts. As you can see, my From 1 to 100 schedule is still, the live stream is still Tuesdays, but this is episode 17 because I have episode 16, which is an audio only, in the hopper. I haven't published it yet. I'll probably do it today. And then this is episode 17. I just feel like my whole goal was for this to be an interview conversation podcast where I would bring people from various spaces in the content creation, industry, to have a discussion about how people can make a living doing what they love as a content creator. But the more that I dig into research and talk to people, my thoughts are constantly evolving. And I was like, I'm not going to wait until Tuesday when I don't have a guest to be able to break this down because it's all happening so fast. So I was like, you know what? I would rather, even if I have to do 2 live streams in a day, I'd rather do that and get the info out there and get the feedback than wait. So if you are listening to this or you're watching the replay or whatever it is, I would love to know your thoughts. Like if you are, if I've got you thinking, then I'd love to hear what you think because you help me iterate on this. And the bigger goal is that I want this to resonate with people, right? Like I want people to think like, oh, that's a model that can work for me. Like, yes, I can also have the option of making a living doing what I love without having to constantly strive for 100,000 subscribers. Like that's awesome, right? Okay, cool. You didn't miss the huddle up. I'm about to transition into the huddle up. So if you are new to this channel and you don't know about the YouTube huddle up is going to start in about 10 minutes. That's basically where I'm your YouTube coach, helping you check in on your YouTube channel. We're doing a giveaway today, so I'm very excited about that. So just stick around for 10 more minutes and I'll see you again soon. All right, bye.